Hello, my beautiful planty people, and how are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I hope you're fantastic. I hope you're healthy and happy and content. That's my wish for all of you. I am good. I have been doing well. And I really thought this video was important. It was kind of coincidental. In fact, I have really been focusing on all of my common houseplants as of lately, because the plant prices, and I know you're hearing this from a lot of us right now or from everywhere, it's out of hand, it's out of control, and I just can't. I just can't. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay if I can't. I have a fairly substantial plant collection, and I have so many plants that haven't really been getting much of my time lately. So I've really been trying to refocus on those ones. And coincidentally enough, I was tagged or challenged, I suppose, by Christian, Crazy Plant Guy, a fellow Ontarian here. And he has challenged some of us to do a top 5 common houseplants video. Now, I did have this video in the works already, but I figured I would just kind of move it up in the ranks, so that we all kind of are sending the same message right now. So today you're gonna get to see my top 5 favorite common plants. Now, I will say that I kind of cheated, because I couldn't really decide on just one of a particular genus, so I just put them all in the same basket. Anyway, so if that sounds like something that you would like to stick around and watch today, then please, I encourage you to stick around and watch. I may go off on some tangents or mini rants, but this video probably isn't going to be that long. It's probably going to be under 20 minutes, which already is unusual for me, but here we go. Okay, so before I start showing you some of my plants, there are a few things that I need to get off my chest that I've heard recently that have been really disturbing, and these things are so far from okay in the plant community. These things are so far from okay just in general everyday life, and I am so saddened and disappointed that the things I'm about to tell you even are things that I'm about to tell you. So there's been, I understand that everybody's home and frustrated lately. There's been a lot going on in the world. You know, these are bigger problems. You know, there are problems, and if you follow me on Instagram, I did a little mini rant. You know me, I don't normally do drama. I don't normally get all preachy about things, but this is something that I'm really really passionate about, and I feel needs to be said. So if you want to skip this part, I totally understand, but I would definitely appreciate it if you would listen, because I think everybody needs to hear it. There are things in this world to get upset over. There are things like child trafficking, human trafficking, racism, sexism, war, poverty, hunger. Those are things to get upset over. Those are things to fight over. Plants, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Plants are not one of them. Okay? For the love of God, what is going on? At a local nursery here where I live, there was this sweet lady that I know, or that a friend of mine knows. She was shopping. This nursery had just done a restock. She was super excited. She drove right over after she heard about this restock. She got there really early so that she could make sure that she got the plants she wanted. She had them on her cart. She was doing some more shopping and looking around. A whole bunch of other people came in. There was none of a couple particular plants that they were looking for left on the shelves. So they felt like it was okay to go onto this poor lady's cart and take her plants. What the actual... What is going on in this community, people? Honestly, that is not okay. It's not okay. And that is local. That is right down the road from me, and I am appalled. And honestly, if you were one of the people that did that, you need to seriously do some soul searching. It's a plant. It's a plant. We get upset, remember? We get upset about things that actually matter. War, poverty, child trafficking. We don't get upset about a plant. If you don't get it, there'll be another restock. There'll be a cutting for sale somewhere. Trade with a friend. Don't steal it from somebody else's damn cart. What is wrong with you? Okay. Those things needed to be said. There are so many other stupid things that are going on right now, but I'm obviously already upset enough. This is why I don't even read this stuff. It just makes me angry. I don't like negativity. I know it happens. I'm not that naive. When it happens that close to home and in the community that I love so much, I take that as a personal attack. And I think that's just awful and offensive and terrible. So, with that said, we're talking about common houseplants because, like I said, the houseplant market, and especially the more trendy plants, have been insanely priced. Oh my goodness, Ranty Nikki. Let's just show you the plants. These are in no particular order because I am indecisive and can't choose. So the first plant family that I'm going to show you is Pothos. I love Pothos. I don't care which one it is. I have 2, 3, 4 different varieties of Pothos, and I love them all. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the first one. This is the Mandula Pothos. Those leaves are just beautiful. So this plant is absolutely amazing. It is a slower growing pothos. If you're used to like the faster growing like Goldens or Marble Queens or whatever, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But I think it's absolutely worth it. These leaves are beautiful. So they are a lot more round than the Golden and the Marble Queen. And they just have a more, I guess, chunky variegation. They're just beautiful. Anyways, so this was kind of tucked in on the shelf here behind me, and I kind of just ignored it for a while because it was really slow and I was getting really irritated. But I pulled it out the other day to water it, and I was like, oh. And every time I look at it, I am like, oh my gosh, you're kind of beautiful. So I thought that I would put it on a little teeny moss pole, and I think it looks really cute. Their growth pattern is rather uniform, so it's kind of nice because it has, you know, leaf, 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 and I just love how it looks. So this is Pothos number 1. I so lied. This video is going to be long. Okay. The next one that I have here is this gorgeous, beautiful Marble Queen Pothos. I picked this one specifically because it had really beautiful white variegation on it. If you can see all that. Isn't it pretty? So gorgeous. So these plants grow really fast. If you keep them in, I know that they are commonly considered a low light house plant. I will just say right now, there is no such thing as a low light house plant. Plants don't like low light. No plant likes low light. There are just plants that are more tolerant of low light. So when you don't give this plant the light that it requires, it will start to go green and you will lose all of this gorgeous white variegation, and it basically will turn into a jade pothos, which is just a plain old green pothos. If that's what you like, then cool. Go ahead and leave it in a dark corner. That's totally up to you. but that's how these plants work. So I've got this one under some nice light, and she has the most wonderful white variegation. So that is my Marble Queen Pothos. The next Pothos on my #1 common plants is the Cebu Blue Pothos. This one took me, let me show you on this side. So this one took me forever to find, and I actually got a cutting sent to me by a subscriber, which was so amazing. It actually came from the States because these were near impossible to find up here in Canada last year. And so I had a tiny little cutting, and I just kept growing it and cutting it and putting it back in the pot, and growing and cutting it and putting it back in the pot. And it is quite long now. I absolutely love these leaves. They are kind of a sagey, bluey green color, and just a really beautiful plant. And she does need to be chopped again and put some more back up here. You can tell that I have put some cuttings in here recently. So these are ones, these short little stubby ones that I've recently potted just back into the soil to create a fuller top. But these are a beautiful plant, and these ones are really cool in that when they get a little bit more mature, their leaves will split, and I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I'll ever see that out of this plant just because I don't have the space to give it that much room to grow, but just know that they do. Okay, moving on to the next Pothos. It's a big, oh, hold on girl. So this is my golden Pothos. I put this guy on this totem because I don't know if you've ever seen a Pothos on a totem, but they are beautiful, and their leaves just get absolutely massive. So this is a fairly decent sized leaf for a Pothos plant at this point, but they will get like huge. And so I just love the look of a Pothos on a totem. So that's what I did with this guy, and the variegation on these leaves, if I can get her up there. Hopefully that's focusing, I can't really tell. Just beautiful. Anyways, so that is the last Pothos. I kind of wanted to show you all of them because I like them all and I couldn't really choose just one. So that is the first plant on my top 5 favorite common houseplants list. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, the next plant on my top 5 favorite common houseplants, that is a mouthful, video. I don't have it with me. It is hanging because it is lovely and beautiful, and I have it situated exactly how I want it, but I will insert some footage right here of this plant, and it is my Skindapsis pictus exotica, I think that one is. Beautiful, beautiful plant. This thing is it grows like crazy. The leaves are stunning. They have this really like soft velour type leaf, and they're covered in silver, and some of these leaves are getting absolutely massive. Like, I love this plant. I also love the smaller version, the Skindapsis pictus argyria, I believe it's called. I also have one of those, plus some cuttings, plus another one, because they're really easy to propagate. So I've just been cutting them and creating all kinds of plants, and anyways, absolutely beautiful plant. They are readily available in most areas, and if you can get your hands on one, if you don't already have one, I definitely recommend these. They are absolutely rewarding plants, and they are super beautiful, and they really just pack a punch in any collection. So that is my number 2 plants, though, the Skindapsis pictus argyria and the Skindapsis pictus exotica, which is the larger, more silvery leaf one. Okay, let's move on to plant number 3. So plant number 3, I kind of cheated as well because I have 2 different kind of varieties of this plant. I am obsessed with them both. They don't get a whole lot of press on my channel, and I don't know why. It's just they just don't. And that is the Ficus Taniki and my Ficus Strawberries and Cream is what I bought it as. So here is my Ficus Taniki plant. She's not super huge, but she is super beautiful. These leaves are just stunning. They look very pixelated. And I love how this plant looks. The leaves are getting really, really huge. Give these plants lots of light. Water them when they're dry. And they will reward you with these beautiful, huge, variegated, pixely leaves. So that is my Ficus Taniki. So that is the first one. Let me show you my strawberries and cream. So this is my strawberries and cream ficus. I absolutely love this plant. The pink on it is beautiful. If I can get you up in there. Look at that. Even the backs of the leaves are just super pink and so pretty. Same care as the other one. Give them lots of light, water them when they're dry, and they're just a beautiful plant. And these will grow into these big gorgeous trees, and who doesn't want a big gorgeous pink or variegated tree? I know I do. Anyways, so that is plant number 3 on my favorite, top 5 favorite common house plants video. All right, let's move on to plant number 4. Okay, this was a feat just to get this right here. So plant number 4 is this is a variegated peace lily, or a Domino peace lily. And this is such a beautiful plant. I like variegation, if you didn't know that already. And I have the green one, who hasn't been doing well lately, but it is getting better. But this one has just been a trooper. This plant has grown so much. It's definitely thirsty a lot, but she's blooming. She's got all kinds of blooms. I've had this plant for about a year, I think, and it has just been the most wonderful plant. It's so easy to take care of. It tells you when it's thirsty, which is really handy, which is often. I could probably water this plant every 3 to 4 days. Like soak it, and she would be absolutely happy with that. But yeah, easy, definitely underrated plant, and I think everyone should have one of these. They don't require crazy high light, but obviously would do better with a higher light situation. Any plant would. But it's definitely a great common houseplant option. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend that you get one. I mean, they're just beautiful and easy. Okay, moving on to plant number 5. So for plant number 5, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert some footage, and once you see, you'll know why. So it is my Dipenbachia. Now this is just your plain old run-of-the-mill Dipenbachia, but look at this thing. It is huge. These leaves are like twice the size of my head. It is a beautiful statement piece. It's super easy. It requires like nothing of me. I have forgotten to water this thing because it sits in my corner for like an embarrassingly long period of time, and it has been totally fine. It is an amazing plant. Like I said, great for a corner. It lived in that corner without a grow light, without a window for a long time, and it still grew and did wonderfully. So if you don't have one of these, you definitely should grab one, especially if you have a corner that gets medium-ish light, that you just would like a nice big plant to fill up. The leaves are beautiful. They're very tropical looking, and it definitely packs a punch in any collection. So that is my top 5 favorite common house plants. I would like to know what your top 5 favorite common house plants are. So please go ahead and throw them down in the comments. I would love to hear what your favorite common house plants are. And I also would love to challenge all of you guys to spend a little bit more time with your more common houseplants. Do something different with them, repot them into a pretty pot, move a location, put one on on a moss pole, you know, do something different with them, and I guarantee you that will renew your faith in that plant and make you fall in love with that plant all over again. I think that's something that we could all do right now, is just really refocus on the collections that we have and just try to take away a little bit of the market right now, that insanity. Again, I'm sorry for anybody who's watching this that happens to sell plants, but it's just crazy right now, and I know everybody has to make a living, but you know, every little, they're gonna sell anyway. Let's be honest. But if we can just take away a little bit of the hype and a little bit of the crazy out of it, I think that's a good thing. So keep in mind, we are all adults, we can all make our own decisions, and we all like to watch things that are different and interesting from our normal everyday. So it's okay to watch videos about rare houseplants or uncommon houseplants or trendy houseplants. But don't forget the common houseplants that you already have in your collection that are still amazing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. So I would like to thank all of you guys for liking, watching, commenting, and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is a huge help to my channel, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you also to Christian for challenging a bunch of us to do this video. Like I said, it was on my list of to-dos, but I love that we are all doing it together and sending a message. So thank you so much. And yeah, so I would like all of you to have a great day, night, week, month, and year. I love you all to bitty bits, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah!